As the great Britney Spears once said, oops, the referees did it again. And see, though Caitlyn is not suited up on this one, she's not just gonna sit on the sidelines and put up with their usual BS. I mean, here's what I'm talking about. This gal right here has clearly established her left foot as her pivot foot, but then she started shuffling like John Travolta, moving her pivot once, twice, 3 times. And as you can see, Coach White is already jumping like a bunny and calling out the obvious travel. But as always, this ref right here swallows her whistle and just looks the other way. With CC acting as Coach Caitlyn due to injury, the Fever has a tall task on their hands as they'll go up against not just the Washington Mystics, but also the wicked whistleblowers of the WNBA. And without further ado, let's get down to the action. To fire up the grill, Coulson draws a smooth pullback, giving them DC girls a mini heart attack. Now, on the other end, Kiki says, "Do you love me?" as she rolls out the red carpet and cruises her way to drop a lefty bucket.
Gets it. Area offense streaking, the defense gets that to go.
Moments later, Kelsey gets denied on the drive, but luckily, Coulson finds Lexi on the kick, who then splashes it down from downtown.
They're still there. All in the corner, gets back to go.
With the Fever's lead jumping to 10, the Mystics muscle down low. Shakira Austin begins to work by dropping a pair of buckets like clockwork.
Points in the paint for Indiana. Here's Austin attacking, comes right back in the...
Before Sonia Citron leaks out like bad news and scoops in the easy deuce.
Citron pushing, gets the layup.
The Mystics cut down the lead to 2, but as soon as that happens, the Lady KD glazes some hazy and lays the rock softly. And to close out the first, Kelsey sprays the goods to DB for the high-arching Rainbow 3.
This is the Mystics' first lead of the ball game since it was early on, and automatically Dewana Bonner shows why she was added to this roster for Steph White.
The Fever holds onto a 4-point lead after 12 minutes of play, and in the second frame, Shakira dances the Waka Waka and knocks down back-to-back jump pie to open things up. Then Dantas and Edwards got entangled after that like loose USB cables before Kelsey turned on her afterburners and got the bump in the bucket.
Mitchell attacking, gets it over Austin and the foul.
With the Fever building a 5-point cushion, the Mystic super scorer, Brittany Sykes, laces a straightaway bomb off the inbound. Then she wheels and deals like a high roller, hitting a tough spinning jumper to erase the deficit.
Sponges. Oh my God, Brittany Sykes.
And right before the quarter ends, Citron goes for a back-to-back rack attack to put the Mystics back in the driver's seat.
Citron pushing. Gets the finish, 4.3 to go in the...
44-40 reads the score at the half, and it is quite evident that the Fever misses Caitlyn's firepower as they're having a hard time putting up points on the scoreboard. But see, even though CC can't drop buckets, she unloads some serious bombs at the refs, knowing that they don't have the power to tee her up this time around.
The Fever, 40.
Points in the paint.
Yep. But not tonight, and I think that's...
Anyway, Kiki flexes her guns underneath and slices the Fever's defense like shredded meat. Then, Kelsey swiftly responds by dialing up a long-distance hit before Dolson wipes Lexi out of the frame with this offensive foul.
College women's basketball up there with Kelsey Plum.
Both teams go back and forth after that, and around the 3.5-minute mark, Kelsey tries to draw a foul, but to no avail, which leads to a back-to-back triple on the opposing end.
Well, but Lucy, I love Lucy for 3.
But to stop the bleeding, Lexi channels her inner Kobe by creating some space and drilling the fall away with the hand on her face.
Been fueled by these...
By the end of the third, the Fever found themselves down by 7, and to open the fourth, Lexi brings her defender to the weight room and gets the and one to drop.
Look at this defense by Washington. Jade Melvin, I thought she got pushed off.
Now, after that, DB goes for a crisscross, spreads some applesauce, and finishes it like a boss.
Good all player.
Bonner getting into the crisscross applesauce for the...
Down by just 4, Kiki swerves back, scoring consecutive buckets at the paint, while on the other end, AB gets denied at the rim by Austin.
Game, so not the same.
Huge block from Austin and coming back.
At this point, the Fever just keeps playing catch up, and for every run that they ignite, the Mystics always have an answer to shut them down. Caitlin's absence hit the Fever hard as they struggled to put up points when they needed it most, especially when they're rallying in the fourth. And in the end, Indiana bowed down to Washington 77-83. Though it was a bad night overall for the Fever, DeWanna Bonner painted some silver lining to lighten up the mood as she had her first breakout game of the season, scoring 21 points while adding 4 rebounds and 2 steals. Meanwhile, the familiar suspects like A.B. Howard and Kelsey Mitchell all chipped in double digits. But see, it was their horrendous three-point shooting that sums up this loss, as they only made 5 out of 21 three-point attempts and shot 23.8% from deep. Well, aside from that area, their transition game was nowhere to be found in this particular game, which again can be attributed to the absence of Caitlin. I mean, according to the stats, the Mystics posted a total of 11 fast break points, while on the other hand, the Fever, a team that loves to run up and down the court at a breakneck pace, tallied 0 fast break points. This is a major area of concern for the Fever, as they have to find ways to score more on the half-court set, with Caitlin being out for the time being, and Coach White addressed this issue too during the post-game interview.
Obviously, you guys need to adjust without Caitlin too. Just, Is there anything you could pinpoint with the offensive issues today?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, not having any points in transition, is one that's obvious. I mean, Caitlin is really good at finding rim runners, getting the ball up the floor. That's one. We got to be better there.
The Fever just look out of sync at times offensively without CC running the show at the point. And speaking of which, with Caitlin out for at least 2 weeks due to a quad injury, the Fever has to figure out how to score consistently and win ball games without their young superstar.
I think with and without her, it's a new system, a lot of new players. We can keep saying that, but at some point we have to turn the page, right? We gotta be able to slow down, to click, to see the mismatches. And so I think this was a kind of gut punch for us. We're gonna come back tomorrow, practice, more focus, more energy. We know we want to be at the end of the season, but we're not just gonna get there. Sometimes it sucks and it's a grind, and that's where we're at right now. But I do think short term and long term, it's going to make us better.
Now, the good thing is that the Fever will face the winless Connecticut Sun next, and this is the perfect time for them to build chemistry and try out different rotations and lineups to see which ones will click and hold up, especially on the offensive end. And on that note, this has been the Hoop Doctor saying bye-bye for now. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next game recap.